Oh wait, nope, that's not right.
What? We are not talking about a 1994 cult classic.
Yeah, we're talking about 1997 cult classic.
I was not a dude in 94, but I was a dude in 97.
Right.
And this is facts. You
Right.
can Wikipedia that. That's actual. That's on my Wikipedia.
I'm not a dude. Not yet a homie.
Y'all gonna quit the look. You got one more Britney Spears joke in you. You're gonna quit
Hey.
making fun of my baby mama.
I love that song. That's why I shout it out.
Like I said now. What I say now.
If you
If you
say
don't
any
understand
white,
that that's appreciation, something's wrong with you.
yeah, if you say any white girl's name 3 times, 9 will pop up on the screen. That's how this works.
He don't even have access to this account. He will pop up on the screen all of a sudden.
He will
Hey
find
guys,
a way.
I don't know why, but I'm here.
He's like, can you
I'm
guys
Ron
stop
Burgundy.
Can you guys stop saying white people's names so I don't show up? He's like, God damn, I'm here again. Fuck.
Also, if you don't start the episode with this little clip, I don't know what's gonna.
Right? I was like, oh man, I thought I had a cold open, but now I have another.
He's like, we got 2 goals.
Hello, you beautiful nerds. I'm Jedi Master Grayson,
And I am your favorite cousin's favorite cousin, Bill.
and this is
Does it
Hold?
hold?
The show where we revisit classic genre films to see if they're as good or as bad as we remember. Also,
We do it drunk, mostly.
yes, and we are joined by a special guest as always to help us determine if this film stands the test of time. Sorry, I've been taking shots, so I'm not.
He also
Oh,
took
my-
all my lines, but
we
it's okay. It's okay.
are joined as always by a special guest to help us determine if this film stands the test of time. He is the host of the Unfiltered Bachelor podcast, and you can also see him on the Non-Nerd Yards and Nerds at Night YouTube channels. Your turb channels. That's not how it's pronounced.
Yes.
He's a lover and a fighter, and he's the funniest guy I know besides myself. Money Blakeweather. What's
That's
going
right.
on?
What is happening? Is your favorite dude's favorite Mexican? Also, they saved some lines for me, so I have a couple in this episode. So that is good. But yeah, excited to be here. Excited to be with all my dudes because, as we all know, I'm a dude. You're a dude. We're all dudes. Hey,
Hey.
And never have words united a generation more so than those, and I'm
Right,
excited to
absolutely.
talk about all this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Our words.
I know some of those
I
words.
know some of those words.
Oh man, this was it was so much fun diving back into this movie.
That's right. Welcome to Drunk Banthas, home of the Banthas. Can I take your order?
Bantha, yeah.
Oh man. But before we get into the nitty and the gritty, Blake, could you tell us how you felt the first time you saw this movie? Do you remember the first time you saw this movie?
I do. Yeah. So obviously I was born in the 80s, but I was raised in the 90s. This is what the kids say. I've seen it on plenty of Instagram posts.
Okay,
and
Roll
so
Tide.
I'm quoting it. That's right. Scroll Tide. And yeah, I was very familiar with all of that because it was the SNL for kids. And I was also familiar with SNL, a bit of SNL. Like sometimes I'd stay up too late on a Saturday and you watch SNL. But yeah, very familiar with Good Burger. So when they made the movie, I remember seeing the preview everywhere. I did not watch it in theaters, but I did, however, wait to rent it from, I think it was Hollywood Video at the time because Blockbuster did not have it in. And I think I had to wait for a week because, bro, everybody went to go rent it. But when you rented it, when I opened that glorious Hollywood Video box and it was an orange cassette tape and it said Good Burger on the label, I knew I was in for a treat. And I think I rented it for like, I don't know, maybe a month straight. And it was just glorious. It was so tremendous.
Glory,
It
true
was
glory.
glorious.
Just so you guys, I just want to pull up the very first Good Burger sketch.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. May I take your order?
Yeah, I'd like one Good Burger with cheese, extra ketchup, mayonnaise, no mystery sauce, no pickles, no lettuce, and extra onions on half.
One Good Burger. Want any fries with that?
Are you sure you got my order?
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger.
Wow,
Yo,
that's
first of
kinda
all,
stop.
old dude sounded like a girl that I used to date. Like his voice sounded like
Yeah, right. He
some
was.
girl's-
I think he was 7 years old at that sketch.
That was odd. I was not. I was not.
Both of them, considering that Kel's take on it was more stoner-esque and less dude-esque, right?
Right. Yeah, it was
More
definitely
stoner,
very
less surfer.
spacey stoner in that first.
Right. But again, very fond memories, as I always say, of this movie. And I remember inviting all my friends over, like anybody that wanted to come like spend the night. I've been like, we're watching Good Burger. And I don't care. I don't give a shit what kind of plans you had or you thought we was getting into. We not playing the video games. We is watching Good Burger before we do anything.
like,
It was like
I don't care
a rite
if
of passage.
she's a dude. I don't care if he's a dude. I don't care if we're all dudes. We're fucking watching this guy.
We're watching this. That's what we're doing. Yeah. Here's what we're doing.
So what we not gonna do? We not gonna not watch Good Burger.
That's
what
definitely
we
what we're not going to do.
That's
do you
what
remember
we
the
not
first?
gonna do.
Do you remember the first time you saw this?
Fuck yeah, I know when first saw this. We went to the movies to see this, unfortunately. When I saw it for the first time, when I saw the trailer for the first time, I was like, I am definitely going to see this movie, but it's not going to be good. I'm going to go see it. This wasn't even the greatest like sketch they had on all that, but it was like at that time where Saturday Night Live was putting out all those sketch movies. Like, oh, we got a popular sketch. Let's take that one and make a movie out of it. Yeah. And then all that was like, hey, we can't let Universal Studios get all that money. Oh, no, it's NBC. Excuse me.
Oh, yeah. And arguably, Mavis and Clavis was probably the better sketch.
Mavis and Clavis.
I would have been down for Mavis.
Shoe up, shoe up, shoe up, shoe up, shoe up, shoe up, shoe up.
Bring it down now. Shoe up, shoe up. Man, all that was so great.
I would have loved a backstory on the Frenchman in the bathtub saying the
Oh,
word.
yes. Oh, my
I would have loved a backstory on that.
Oh, yeah, that would
Pierre Escargot.
Escargot. Or we could have got Tiki Tiki Dr. K. You know what I'm saying? Like, any of those would be like a crazy radio announcer of a radio host, Tiki Tiki Dr. K, and he goes on. We see his life kind of like the ladies' man. You know what I'm saying? We could have seen something like that, but
that would have been like a very much like a Dear Ashley type vibe. I would have gotten.
Right.
Like Dear Ashley would have been like the ladies' man, but for kids, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh man. Yeah.
We should have did that.
A commentary on child.
Alas, we didn't get all that movies except this one.
Yeah.
So.
This is the only one that we got. And this one was a commercial success. Actually, before we get into that, I just will say that. Yeah, obviously, also saw it as a kid and loved it.
You saw it with me.
We all liked it as kids. It's Good Burger. It's all that.
We liked it.
But the reception wasn't that great from the critics. It had a 33% critics score on Rotten Tomatoes, 63% audience score.
Is that bad?
It's not good. Yeah, the critics really laid into this one, and it's surprising because it is a kids movie, but people were talking about it as if they were expecting to go like see the next, Eddie Murphy movie.
I mean, Sinbad's in it, like Jesus
and
Christ.
I think nothing better says this than if anybody goes and watches the Siskel and Ebert review of this movie, where I think it was Siskel, right? He's the bald guy. Yes, Siskel.
Yeah, he's bald guy.
He gives a review first, and then Ebert's like, I mean, it's a movie for 8-year-olds, and they're gonna love it. Like, so what do we?
That actually sounds like Ebert. That actually was a good Roger Ebert.
Their conversation about Good Burger is so interesting because they get into such like a heated debate.
Yes, I was like, are they about to throw hands about Good Burger? Like,
seriously,
bruh.
Look, I just want to tell everybody.
I think what's his name? Like, I think one of them is like arguing that the characters are smart. Another one's like, they're not smart. Like
Ebert he said that Kel's character was actually playing a dumb guy, but was actually a smart guy. And he's like, are you sure that's how you feel? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I think he said something to the effect of like, yeah, why not?
Like, did you watch this movie?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Why not? Yeah, no, their dynamic on their show is awesome. I've said it on here many times. Go watch that shit if you haven't. It's on YouTube. It's incredible. Motherfuckers argue about every movie like they're about to throw hands. When they don't agree, they vehemently disagree.
Yeah, it's incredible. It turns, it's great. And the movie, even though the movie was like critically, panned, did really well at the box office. It's made $23.7 million at the box office on an $8.5 million budget.
Oh, shit, that's
a
money.
win.
Yeah,
I can't believe Keenan wins. Keenan Thompson and Kel Mitchell are even doing anything. Why work after that?
Right? I'm sure that they got screwed over in their contracts. They were children.
Oh yeah, they were children working for Paramount. So of course. In case you haven't seen Good Burger, because you were just like under a rocket during the 90s, or you were homeschooled or some weird shit like that, this movie is about two teen misfits at a modest burger joint, facing competition from a hamburger emporium across the street. And of course, like we mentioned, it's adaptation or whatever. Did we mention
a movie version of the sketch?
Oh yeah.
From all that. But let's talk.
What? I might just do straight up Ed impersonations this whole time. I might just be Ed. Am I Ed?
We're all Ed. We're all Ed. Actually,
you're all me.
I'm glad that you said that.
That's cool.
I'm glad you said that, because that will probably get annoying if you do that the whole podcast or the whole show. But I was surprised that it's not annoying that Ed is just Ed throughout the whole movie. It's a 15-second sketch on all that. But in the movie, like, Blake, how did you feel about just like Ed being Ed throughout the whole movie? Did it wear thin?
I'll be honest. So this last, being a kid, all the movie works. Like, you don't have to think too hard about it. Here's the thing. The kids are kids. The kids that work at the burger joint are kids. The bad guys are kids, like, or all within like an older kid range, right? Like, everybody in the movie is a kid,
15
except for the managers, the people that work at the crazy place, and Sinbad. These are like the biggest like adults that are in the movie. But besides that, it's all kids. And so with that in mind, like when I first watched it, you love Ed, and I still love it. It doesn't get annoying. It's like he's a character, and he's playing the character the whole time. I will say this: he holds the dude bro accent better than some English actors hold, like American accents in movies. So it actually is like, it's really good in that regard. However, I have some thoughts about Dear Ed as I've gotten older. I want to know, does he live by himself? Is he in high school? Does he go to school? Has he been to school? Who all lives with him? Why does he have that big house and he works at a burger joint? What is going on in the world? And if he lives in that big house, is that why he doesn't have a car? It's because he's spending all the money on the house?
Do you ever get nervous?
Are you high right now?
He does, he does. I'm glad that you brought that up, because
I'll answer those questions.
Do you have?
I do not live alone. I live in a burger. I live in a burger house, and it's outside of a really nice house in Pasadena. No. He said that a lot. He just said no a lot.
No. Like, I don't know how to respond to it. Like, I don't know the answer to this, so I'm just gonna say no inquisitively.
Yeah, because in case you just asked if you could touch my booty, I just want to make sure I just say no. I don't know what you
always
meant.
Respond in that case, be like, I'm Ron Burgundy.
Was this the first Ron Burgundy? That could be your question.
What were you saying though, Alex, about Ed?
Well, no, I do feel like he because this is like a sketchy movie, he does exist in this like hyper, like they set up very early on that he is not playing by the rules of reality. He takes a shower with all of his clothes on. He goes to bed in his Good Burger uniform. He looks at his alarm. He's like, a clock. So he's like unreasonably stupid.
He's not stupid,
but also at the same time, he said that he sees his father every day. So we gotta assume that he lives with his dad,
or his father's a tree outside of his house.
That's
or it's all in his head, just like those burgers in his dream that are talking to him.
He does pay rent somewhere, right? Like he has I mean, I'm just saying, like, we see him
Yeah.
leave his house. So he pays rent somewhere. Like, he does things that normal people do, except talk.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know if
And
he's
fix
a
milkshake
kid
machines. I
or
don't
if
think
he's-
anybody.
I think he's just eternally just
No,
whatever.
I think he's 38 years old in this movie.
He didn't.
think-
Yeah, he doesn't go to school. Like clearly, like he's not.
Yeah.
He's not in high school at the same time that Keenan's character is in high school. So it's just like, did he just graduate? Is he just sort of like a little on the spectrum and
Yeah.
like he's out, but like he's kind of like ageless? Like I don't really know.
Right.
But
I think we
I have
an
a lot
answer.
of questions.
I think I have some answers, or some theories. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Theory time.
Conspiracy theories, maybe. You know,
There's a
I think that Ed is a spy. He's a government spy for
Okay.
the French
hot
government. He's a French
Mm.
spy in America, here to do
Why
harm.
French?
Why is he French?
Yeah.
Why would you would never expect such a thing? See, that's the reason. The reason that you just asked that question. That's the reason he's
That's
French.
why
Literally,
he's
Bill's
French, 'cause
like, got him.
You walked right in.
Walked right into that,
Walked
baby.
right into it.
You know what I'm saying? And the dumber he is, you know what I'm saying? You'll never know he's
Yeah.
acquiring information. He's trying to capitalize on capitalism in America.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
do-
real reason.
I do. Can we just acknowledge the genius of the Good Burger sketch, just like real quick, because it is pretty like genius, just like getting a person's order wrong. Like you could do a million versions of that sketch. It's just kind of
Right.
just kind of like perfect, right?
Yeah, but I mean, how do you make a movie out of
Right. And
Well, we're
well-
gonna talk about that, ladies and
Well,
gentlemen.
they asked themselves that same question almost 30 years ago.
Yeah, so in this movie, Keenan's character, he gets into a car accident with Sinbad, his super 70s obsessed teacher, and he has to pay him back. And to do so, he has to give up his idea
I wanna
of
say
a
this.
leisurely summer so he can get a summer job.
I want to say this. I worked in insurance. I took insurance claims for Progressive. And I will tell you this. When a car has any airbag that goes off, the car's total. So that $1,900, that's so fictitious.
Right.
As soon as I saw this, I was
$2,500.
like,
$2,500.
no, no.
No.
He's getting a new car. And
Getting a whole new car.
Keenan's going to have to buy him a new car. They're not putting that airbag back. That is
Oh my
against safety
gosh.
Tell
regulations.
her what she's got, Bob.
No. Yeah, right. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Well, you know why you didn't think about it? Because it's a goddamn movie for 8-year-olds. Like, they know 8-year-olds had no insurance, so they wasn't going to be fact checking nothing.
Right.
But
we
But
can do
yes,
that
that
now that
was-
we're not 8 anymore. So.
now,
You're
we
Y'all
can pay
welcome.
cops now.
now we pay for insurance. We can fucking talk about it. Now that I have a car payment, I can tell you right now that would have been a total
Yeah, I used to
vehicle.
relate to Keenan and Kel. Now I relate to the guy on the other side of the counter who's like, get my order right. Why is nobody working?
Right?
Like, damn,
How
I
the
just
tables
told
have turned.
I wanted a burger. God damn it. Why is it so fucking hard? Jesus Christ. You gave me fries. I said no fries. You gave me onion rings. And I said no onion rings. I'm
and-
allergic to onions.
I'm allergic. Yeah, like it's so funny
Yeah,
how
no,
now that we're older, we have a different perspective on this movie in way many different ways. Especially some of the actors, Dan
Can we
Schneider.
I thought we were going to start with
Oh, that schmuck. No, start with the schmuck.
No, oh yeah,
right?
we can do
That's
that
the guy?
because I already had
This guy.
something queued up right here, you know.
Oh,
So-
sorry, my bad. Do you want to talk about something better first?
No, I already had this nigga here. Like,
Oh,
I just wanted him. I
mm.
just wanted his face, not so
Yeah.
much his performances or anything. Like, I just wanted to show him.
Yeah, obviously Dan Schneider's a piece of shit. If you guys are not aware, there's definitely a lot of
It
stuff.
wasn't until today, actually. I
really?
I watched a review on it, and they're like, and then this piece of shit's in the movie, and I'm like, what did the manager do? And then I looked it up, and I'm like, oh my god, what didn't he do? He's trash.
Yeah, just real briefly, guys. In March of 2018, Deadline reported that the producers split with Nickelodeon because citing notes and allegations of Schneider's temper, disrupting work, production delays, ballooning budgets, and quote unquote complaints of abusive behavior.
quote unquote.
And it's also like allegedly a well-known secret in Hollywood that he got Jamie Lynn Spears pregnant when she was underage. So fuck him. He's a piece of shit. But he's also in this movie. Did you guys bump up against that at all when y'all were watching this? I guess you didn't really.
Don't say sexual assault and bump up against. Ever.
Oh yeah, that's probably bad phrasing.
Don't ever do that again.
We
still fucking do phrasing in this house.
Yeah. Did you guys did that distract you at all when you were watching this?
Well, he clearly not from Blake because he just found out.
I was today years old when I found out this man is trash.
Or
in Spanish we call it. In Spanish we call it basura. Can everybody say basura?
Basura. This motherfucker right here. Let me tell you something. No, it didn't affect nothing. It didn't affect anything for me. But also, I just want to talk about more how this motherfucker is a piece of shit. He also created all that. So, like, there was almost no way that Nickelodeon could have kept him from being in this. He amassed so much power in a very short period of time at Nickelodeon. The dude wrote probably 24 shows created 24 shows. But we don't know Ariana Grande and all those people without this dude. So it's really kind of crazy how somebody like this can get away with something like that for such a long time. There's no way no one knew. How the hell do you get around any Spears family member for long enough for anybody to get pregnant and then nobody say nothing?
Yeah, it's all super, super wild.
I don't care if you got her mama pregnant. How did you get around that circle long enough for no one to notice and say something? You know what I mean? Oh.
No, it's all super wild. And he's apparently about to make a comeback. So guys, look out for that. He's reportedly writing a new pilot. So
wait a minute. I don't want him coming on anybody's back right now. Alex,
I don't know.
He
what
really
Alex
needs to
doing.
stop doing that.
I don't know why he keeps doing that. Alex knows what he's doing. I feel like, and he just
that's
keeps
trash.
Trash.
But it's so funny that you said he did everything with Nickelodeon Studios and what have you, because I didn't find out till today the director of this is runs Paramount now. Yeah. And I was like, how in the world, why, in the words of Kenan Thompson, why?
That's probably has a lot to do with why Paramount Studios has the lowest stock option in movie studios.
Are you saying he's not a strong director?
No, I'm saying that these motherfuckers don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why would this guy get the director of this movie become the head of Paramount? There's no one else alive.
$27 million.
It did make $27 million, man.
Well, you know why, right? I mean, he directed such great films as Varsity Blues, Ready to Rumble, Hardball, The Perfect Score, Norbit, Meet Dave, and 1,000 Words.
Norbit might be the best one on that, and that's probably my least favorite Eddie Murphy movie.
I loved Hardball, man. I remember sad when they shot the little homie in there.
I remember Ready to Rumble fondly. 70% of those movies are on the Does It Hold Up list, I feel like. But
season 2.
The story for this movie, it is a little funky. It's wild, it's hyper realistic. But did you guys think it was at least entertaining as a kids movie? Blake,
every bit of this, I would not question it. As a kid, here's the thing. It made sense. Okay, first of all, I didn't realize how dangerous this was until I got into high school and my cousins would drive their parents' cars. First of all, parents, don't let your kids drive cars without no insurance. But when they would do that, I would be like, oh my God, we could get into a wreck. And then we'd have to work jobs just like Good Burger. I seen it in a movie. I had it all figured out. I had it all figured out, right? And then I'm like, then what's going to happen is we're going to work at a Good Burger, and then they're going to open a Mondo Burger right across the street. And we're not even going to notice it until right the day before. And then we're going to try and sneak in and take them down, and they're going to send us to the loony bin. And who's going to save us now? All of that shit made sense as a kid.
This is a life lesson for you.
Yeah, it was don't drive around with no insurance in your parents' car when they don't know about what's going on.
Then we're going to have to make it like Dexter.
Yeah, then as a kid, you're like, then we're gonna have to make a secret sauce. And then when you say that as an adult, it has a whole new meaning. So like,
yeah, everybody going after Ed's sauce definitely does have some double entendres in here, especially when Carmen Electra shows up.
Right. Which,
Yeah.
you know what? I want to talk about some of the, since we're talking about that right this second, and I have it pulled up. We're going to talk about the cameos in this movie.
Yeah, a lot of cameos.
all of them, all the cameos.
It's so odd that they were able to get all these people, but that just shows you how much of a phenomenon all that. And
can I ask this question since we're talking about cameos? We can list them off, but I just want to ask this question: which one do you think is the most unexpected in this movie?
I'm gonna play it right now.
Of all of them,
I'm gonna play it right now.
Do you think is the most unexpected?
Shaquille O'Neal was definitely, to me, the most unexpected. Like, why would
I did forget that he was in this movie. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, what?
Yeah, like, why would he be there?
So after scoring that amazing last-minute game-winning shot and bringing your team all the way to the NBA championship, how do you feel?
I feel hungry.
UPN.
Yeah, oh man, dating itself. I wonder how much UPN paid to be like the one at the front.
They're the only real station on that
on the whole panel.
That's so funny.
This is insane. And they probably standing on something.
I'll say this for me as a kid. For me as a kid, this was the most unexpected one, but I have a different one when I got older.
Okay, what
was your this time around?
As I got older, I was like, why the hell is Abe Vigoda in this movie, bro? Like, he was in Godfather. What are you doing in Good Burger?
Abe Vigoda.
What are we doing? You know, like.
Weirdly, our friend when we were growing up was like, dude, Abe Vigoda is in this movie. I was like, who the fuck is Abe Vigoda? Like, how do you...
Right, as a kid, you don't know. But when you get older, you're like, oh my God, like, Abe Vigoda is in Good Burger? Yeah.
That is, like, very weird. And, like, the whole joke is that he,
Hey,
just old.
what are you doing? Stealing your truck. Yeah.
Wonderful. I love that he's the third guy.
He's not planning on doing that. Like that just happened for it to do it that way. Like that shit's amazing.
Toward the end of the movie, he's like the third guy in the group. Like he's
the
perfect.
Yeah,
right. He's the Eddie of the Ed and
yeah.
That's what's weird about this movie. There's 3 movies in this movie.
Yeah, the plot changes a few times.
There's Act 3. There's Act 2 and there's Act 1, but there's these are like 3 different movies. There's Good Burger 1, Good Burger 2, Good Burger 3. So I guess this new Good Burger that just came out, that's
Good Burger 4.
Good Burger 4.
Yeah, the central dramatic question, I guess, like stays the same, is like, if like, will Dexter be able to pay off Sinbad for the car? But there's a whole bunch of stuff that pops up in between, like his relationship with Ed,
let's talk about Sinbad for a second, because he's what sets off he's the plot device. He sends the our hero to go on his journey.
Right. Yeah.
The hero
literally in that moment, this could have gone like a different direction. Luckily it went happy, fun, friendly family movie, right?
Yeah.
Because he was like, I'm not going to call the cops.
Right.
But if he would have called the cops, this movie would have been like Boys in the Hood Part 2 or something.
Right.
Like,
Right.
It would have been.
He would have been coming back.
Sad,
would have got
sad
real
hood
serious.
movie.
When he got out of prison, he'd have been 24, and then he would have came back, and the hood would have been all dilapidated.
Yeah, there would have been a narrator.
And then he would have been forced to work at Good Burger to make money for like a halfway job.
And
that would have been a completely different movie.
Only place I could get a job was at Good Burger.
What if
at Good Burger? It would be Good Burger.
Good Burger. What if they redid Good Burger like they did like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Yeah,
it's just like super serious.
I haven't seen the new one.
They do it like this.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it either.
I would watch it. I would watch it. I would
not watch that.
Starring Daniel Kaluuya.
What I want, I don't even really want to talk about the new one. I don't want to talk about the new one too much, but it's like, how do you do a new fucking Good Burger movie, a sequel? How do you do that with these niggas is like 43, 45?
Hey, I'm
no, they gotta be like
that it goes
45,
into
48.
hoping that it goes into a Clerks 3 like area where like
Yeah,
one of them dies of a heart attack or something.
If they were able to make a Clerks 2 when they did, right? Because like that was part of the when Clerks 2 came out, I was like, how are they going to do a Clerk? Were they still Clerks? What are they doing? And then so for it to burn up and then they go work at the new place, but they're still kind of like it's the same shtick but at a new place. They're still gonna they're gonna have to do something like that where like Good Burger burns down or something. They got to rebuild it or something. You know, I don't.
Maybe
know,
they own the Good Burger now or something.
Sure, they should. If they don't, like, what are you doing with your life, baby? What are we doing? Nickelodeon is in. I know Nickelodeon's in trouble, but your life don't have to be.
With inflation, your job is fucking garbage right now. So ain't no way in hell. He said they're making $5.25 an hour.
The new one is AI bots taking over all the jobs, and they got to find a way to keep Good Burger afloat.
Is that really the story?
No, I'm letting you know that's what happens in my head right now. I haven't seen it.
Oh man, I'm honestly curious what the new movie's gonna be about. I haven't watched the trailer just because I want to go in fresh. But like to your point, Money, that would be interesting if they go in a Clerk situation where like maybe they own the Good Burger or something like that.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to go into this too much this long. Because it's problematic because we haven't seen it.
Yeah, at the time of this recording, it hasn't come out yet.
But I like Sinbad, man. In this, first of all, I love Sinbad in general. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sinbad is the most underrated comedian of all time. So I just want to get out some love for old Sinbad. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was fucking hilarious. He should be in this clip a little longer.
And I did. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna since we were talking about cameos. My most unexpected cameo, and this is just because I'm a nerd, was from J. Augustus Gibbons. J. Augustus Richards. He was Charles Gunn from Angel. I couldn't find a clip of him from the movie, but I do want to just play this little quick.
The 4 a.m. jacuzzi strategy sessions?
I suppose it's one of the unwritten laws of being a dick. Sleuth, the gumshoe, Sherlock.
All I know is you use the word dick again and we're going to have a problem.
That's the clip that you chose?
It's quick.
Okay,
whatever. Anyway.
It just didn't even have him mostly talking. I just thought that was funny. That's the one that you chose. That was just because you said you couldn't find one of him from the movie, which is going to be hard because.
Also, I don't feel like we're going to give him his flowers, so let's just do it real quick. Marquise Houston's in the movie. Okay, great. Let's move on.
Marquise Houston, IMX.
You know what? Terrible friend in this movie. Motherfucker gets into his mom's basically stolen car and rides around with him, and then as soon as he hits another car, this little nigga got up and ran. I mean, god damn. Come on, Marquise Houston. You got to do better than that, Roger. You can't just leave your homie hanging like that. He took off running. But Sinbad, to be fair, is a pretty large human being. So I probably would have ran too, to be honest.
Right? And he did look like he was about to whip Keenan's ass.
He was about to whip Keenan. He picked his ass up, took him on the goddamn hood of the car. Like, he was really about to go whip his ass. Like, that shit was funny.
Man. And it's funny how this, like, things kind of escalate in this movie. It starts out with just being, these competing restaurants, and then it becomes very life-threatening. Like, now Mondo Burger's gonna poison Good Burger's food, and it's like almost. I thought that they were gonna kill Keenan and Kel when they trapped him in the restaurant. But they ended up sending them to.
That's why because it's not a sad hood movie. In a sad hood movie, they'd have gotten capped.
Yeah, somebody would have got shot.
Yeah, somebody would have died.
Somebody would have got shot. One thing that does well, we do have a death. We have 2 deaths in this movie. Mailboxes. I'm gonna play this and we can move off of Sinbad.
Yeah, there you go, baby. Oh, yeah, they're gonna have you on this old homie.
This old homie.
I could have done with more Sinbad.
I can't see.
Then stop the car. Why don't anybody?
Look out! Oh no!
My God. My gosh.
Pause for a second. And that's something that happens in so many movies where their view gets obstructed. There's like, I can't see. I guess I'll keep driving until something tragic happens. Like, what
Yeah,
the
he
fuck
did
are
say
we
that shit.
doing?
He said that. Where is it? It's right
Also,
here, right?
the name of the ice cream truck is called Obese Bros. I just want you to know that.
The Obese Bros, is that what it's called?
That's the name of the ice cream truck. I don't know if you can
Holy
rewind
shit.
it a little bit. You don't got to go that far.
Boom.
Maybe right
no,
there.
I just think I can see it right there in that. Yep, it's like right here.
The
Damn,
Obese Bros.
oh, wow.
Obese Bros. That's
like that
hilarious.
That shit is crazy.
That's incredible. Oh man.
Oh man, I just want to bring it up now so that the viewing audience can see it. Oh,
there it is. There it is.
Oh man, that's great. That's great.
You know what? This movie just got 5 more cool points.
Speaking of which, like, yeah, did you guys think that? Like, what did you guys think of the comedy? Considering it is a children's movie, but were there any genuine laugh out loud moments watching it this time around, Bill? Is that it? Yes.
No.
So no.
No. What was the question?
Blake, did you have any? Like laugh out loud, like genuine laugh out loud moments watching it this time around?
Always the line that gets me is when Ava Goda falls and he's like, "I think I broke my ass."
I think I broke my ass.
That is great.
Did Mike Epps write this line for you? This is hilarious.
That was hilarious. I ain't gonna lie.
Like I think it's usually like 1 or 2 lines here and there, like overall, where I'm like, "Oh no," but then the rest of it, as an adult, I'm like, "Bro, no!" It's so cringe. Like it makes me like, "Oh no, don't do that.
Yeah.
That's unsafe. That is unsafe."
Yeah, they're throwing a lot at the wall. Some of it lands.
Which you feel like was unsafe? Like which one did you feel like?
Like a number of things that they do. Like the first of all, driving your mom's car without insurance. I've already talked about this.
Boom, yeah.
Rollerblading and dragging little white girls behind you and not stopping. Like again, not stopping for help. And then still going forward, throwing a baby in a basketball.
Throwing the baby in the basketball.
What are we doing?
I'm glad you mentioned that. I totally feel like that was like wire CGI type situation. Alex feels like they threw a baby through a basketball. What do you feel?
No, it was all like a fake baby. It was a baby, a fake baby. They threw a fake baby in there. I don't know how they got it real, where like the baby looks like it literally landed in his arms. Hopefully they didn't throw the baby up and then catch it.
It just
but they
reverse.
They did some crazy shit in the 90s. Like if you watch Bubble Boy, there's a scene in the beginning of the movie where you see a naked baby boy and you see his little baby pee-pee out there, and I'm like, pedophiles out here are having a field day with this movie.
Right,
Why
yeah,
would they,
like,
how do you allow this with a baby? I don't understand.
Yeah,
I mean,
these
are things that you should do. That's fact.
But yeah, like
Well, the reason
I love that moment in the beginning when he gets the baby, because it's so illogical. Like he shoves the mother to the ground when he runs into her. Yeah, he's like, that's like a Derrick Henry level stiff arm, where he's just like, ugh,
boom,
knocks you to the ground. Like, get this baby.
Heisman, oh yeah.
But I did think that there were some pretty funny moments. Even though Dan Schneider's a piece of shit, I did like the line where he says, he finds out that they only make $43 for the day. He's like, I guess I could always feed my mother cat food.
Yeah.
No.
I was like,
that's
terrible person.
Maybe that did fuck me up.
Why would you feed your mother cat food?
Maybe that did.
But also, I think that's what he does in real life. Like he has
right.
to, right?
That's what I was thinking. Maybe that did fuck me up watching it. Rewatching it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, yo, fuck this nigga. Every time he said something, I was like, yo, fuck this nigga.
No, you're a piece of shit.
Somebody punch this nigga in the throat.
Yeah.
Or that one line where he's like, can we give him a job? And he's like, no.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a genuine.
Like he genuinely had disdain for Ed.
Yeah.
But like he loves Ed.
Yeah.
Like I have a theory. I think that he is Ed's father. Because there's nobody on the planet who would give that much leeway, slack to someone that's stupid. He got to be related to him in some way. So I'm gonna say brother or father. He's his brother or
brother. He's his father brother.
Yeah.
He's his father brother.
Guys, leave it in the comments. What do you think? Is he the father brother of Ed?
One of my favorite lines though was when, or just moments in the movie, was when Ed and what's his name? What was it?
Dexter. Yeah.
When Ed and Dexter meet for the first time, like in person, and talk to each other at the Good Burger, when Dexter just got fired because he's a terrible, terrible worker in the food industry.
Yeah,
he was
comically
putting
bad.
all kinds of comically woven together burger parts. I don't even want to say I don't want to say ingredients because he put everything into each other, so it was just something else. It was an amalgamation of burger stuff. So he ends up talking to Ed, and Ed's like, "What's wrong? What's wrong with you, bro?" And he's just like, "I don't want to talk about it." He starts guessing randomly. He's like, "Did a sheep bite you?" Like, "Did a sheep bite me?" What?
Yeah.
No. Like, he's like, "Since you're such a
horrible guesser."
He said you're an unusually bad guesser.
Yeah, like, let me just go ahead and tell you what's wrong, so you do not keep fucking talking to me.
Yeah, they have such a great comedic chemistry together. Like it's so funny. Like they seem like they're comedic pros, and they're what, like 13 years old in this movie, 14 years old?
No, they're older than that.
No, they're like 16, 17 at this movie. At this point.
Like the age that they're portraying.
Oh, I'm thinking like when all that
started, they were like 12 and 13 years old, helping write sketches and coming up with characters. Shout out to Neil Brennan, who was also a writer and wasn't touching children on this.
And he didn't do anything.
Right.
He just stood back and I'm just joking. I'm joking. I'm not.
Yeah, Neil.
Don't be all woke. Don't be all woke. I'm leaving this show now.
Yeah. Neil.
No.
Neil, all I know is you sat there and you watched them turn the frogs.
We got the documents to prove they are turning frogs gay at Nickelodeon. That's what the orange goop was. That's why they put orange goop in the movie. If you notice it, it's all subliminal messaging. We know what Nickelodeon trying to do to the children. Let's go ahead and ask that guy, Dan. Dan, what do we know what your secrets were on the show?
Fucking right.
The fake the sarcastic conspiracy goes over way better with the Alex Jones accent. When I say it, I kind of sound like a dick. But
when you say most things, you still kind of sound like the dick.
Hey, that's my curse.
How does a dick sound like? Something like that?
Or I mean, I guess it depends on what it's doing.
Like, I mean, if they talk, I have never heard a dick talk.
Here's what a dick sounds like.
We don't mean to offend any dicks in the audience.
No, but before we get to the titular question, I guess we should ask who the MVP is for each of our respective guests. Blake, who is your MVP of this movie?
Man, I didn't think we'd get to that question so quick because I wanted to talk about one thing before we get there.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Can we talk about just, and then sort of like a multifaceted thing, and then we'll get there. It's like why is this movie so like culturally impactful for all kids? And then two, it's like all the 90s things that are in here. And like, I'm just going to point two out. Like one, we have the dreaded 90s montage, which we all love. And then the fact that they chose to make I'm a Dude in the version of a ska song.
Ska song, yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's a hat on a hat.
I know why.
It's a song. It's a song for a movie, and it's a ska song.
Yeah, but I know why they did that.
Perfect.
Remember, what was it? Kazam? Not Kazam. What was that?
Kazam?
Because what was the name of that show with the action figures?
Kablam.
Kablam. That was
in Action League Now. Yeah.
In Action League Now, they used a lot of ska on those shows, and
it was in the 90s as well, right?
Exactly.
Ska
was
huge,
the
yeah.
90s
was huge in the 90s.
Pretty big for ska, but what people don't realize is it like really is. I don't want to say like non-denominational, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say that, but it's like as far as like cultural goes, Like
It's Christian?
white people listen to that, black people listen to that. Like it'll give you this middle ground where you're not just like, because everybody was using New Jack Swing for everything at this point in time, and you're trying to kind of get out of that with movies at this point because we're going into the 2000s,
right?
And so the New Jack Swing sound, like just having a montage.
And it's funny. That that's the case because
tired of that shit.
I feel like ska only had like what 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, 96 to 90, 96 to 2000.
Yeah, and then it was just done.
It's because most people don't practice Santeria and they ain't got no crystal ball.
That is.
If he catches you with Sancho, he's about to, put a hole in you. But we really want to say, right? What we all really
just to your point. Just to your point about the cultural impact, I do just want to like. It is funny how there are so many lines from this movie that I forgot that I say all the time. Like things like I know some of those words. Like I say that all the time. And I remember, like, this is not a political podcast or this is not political show, but I remember when I first, like, the first news that Donald Trump was going to be indicted, I remember thinking, Trump going jail, 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 Trump going jail. Like, I remember just thinking that in my head. I didn't even say it out loud to anyone, but it's just one of those things where, for whatever reason, this really stuck in the brains of kids who were growing up during this Nickelodeon time.
Yeah, I'm just gonna play a clip really quickly because I haven't played any clips really. So we're gonna play something because I just think, for anybody who hasn't seen this shit, you're not gonna understand how fucking ridiculous this is.
There must be 50 customers out there. It's unbelievable. What do you put in that sauce?
She's the greatest actor of all time.
Look,
Touching my
like
fingers.
a friend and all, but no, listen to me carefully.
I like you as a friend. That's how you know. See, to me, Ed is putting on, man. He knows everybody's just gonna let him get away with doing the shit that he doing.
Yeah.
just because he's dumb and black. So it's just like, well, whatever. We'll let him get away with that.
Again, this was Eber's point. Eber's point was like, he's really just a smart guy, pretending to be a dumb guy, so that way he can make it through.
I really think that is the case.
I think that it might be a little less deep than that. I think there are moments where he's more lucid because he's not as stoned. Where he's just like,
well, at the end, he does this whole like monologue about like the criminal justice system.
Because he had no time to get high.
He's been locked up. He just got out. He's been running a lot, sweating all that shit out,
which still makes him very, very, very dumb. If he can't handle smoking and thinking, then yes, he's not.
I think there's some other things going on too, because he definitely did acid at the beginning of the movie when he saw them like floating hamburgers and stuff.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I need the backstory where he went to Yale and then somebody introduced him to weed, like he was like an A+ student.
Oh, that'd be great! I love it. I would love it if that's how the new movie started. I know that's not what's gonna happen.
Oh, Carmen Electra! It doesn't get more '90s than having Carmen Electra in your movie.
It sure does. And I mean, I could stand for it in the 2020s. By the way, anybody who's listening,
actual facts.
Look at him.
As a kid, you don't really. It goes over.
Hey, he got the best. He had the best view right
reaction.
there. He had the best view reaction. He had the best view in the whole movie. Ooh.
A Pagoda again. A Pagoda, the Goda.
Excuse me.
Probably saved this movie as far as for me to keep watching it.
Hey, that's what there's like in the third act. They were like, we gotta have Abe. We gotta have Abe in the insane asylum with the boys. Like, this movie doesn't work if Abe isn't in the third act.
Yeah, they actually got to the third act and couldn't even talk about it. Like, they were like, yo, we gotta fucking scrap this entire story that we have.
It's not coming together.
I think this movie. I think what makes this movie work as I got older is like, it's in essence a sort of time capsule that doesn't always happen. Whereas like, you watch it as a kid, you get certain things. And then as like they planted all these things in there, they're like, these kids are going to get older. They're going to realize who Abe Vigoda is, who George Clinton is, right?
Right, yeah, George Clinton.
Yeah. They're going to realize who Linda Cardellini is. Like they knew she was going to blow up.
Man, huge crush on
documents
Linda
prove that
Cardellini.
they can look into the future and they know what's going on. But like again, I think there's all those little tidbits where like, okay, kids are going to love this now. And they're going to quote it, whatever they're going to like. Ask anybody like who's a 90s kid, like, welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger.
Can I
And
take
you know,
your order?
Right. Everybody knows that line. I'm a dude. He's a dude. She's a dude. We're all dudes. Hey. Yeah.
And
like,
it's so fun. I feel like that's, I want to find out the origin of that. Was that like, because that always felt like a thing that Kel improv
just does. Yeah.
Like before the sketch started, it's like, like
right
now there's like a ska music video. It's kind of crazy.
I think that's how they used to do, like shoe up, shoe up, shoe up, shoe up.
Oh man, we should have had a shoe up music video, like in also sliding door situation where there's a Marvin or Mavis and Clavis movie, and we got a shoe up music video.
We had that.
Produced by Babyface.
And you did bring up how he was probably on drugs most of the time.
Ed,
I love that.
I see.
He's like peeking over the bag. It's so
Don't
weird.
sell me, Ed. Please.
I want to stay here with you.
We love you, Ed.
Come with us, Ed.
Fly, Ed. Fly.
Is it weird that they still look delicious to me?
Actually, I'm kind of hungry.
Whoa, flying with a hamburger.
What in the fuck is that?
That always gets me. Flying with hamburgers. It's so descriptive. I love it.
So I want to ask the testicular question, which
we got the MVP question, right?
Well, no, that's what the testicular question is. Testicular question is, who is your MVP? Blake.
Man, I'm just gonna go with Abe Vigoda. Like Abe Vigoda is the Goda. Abe Vigoda, bro. Every scene he's in, you're like, oh, homeboy's here. He's worked here for like 1,000 years. It's like on an oxygen mask. He's like, I should have died in the 80s or whatever.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, every line is pretty great.
Yeah. So I'm giving the MVP to the Goda, Abe Vigoda.
Ooh, very well played,
Abe
sir.
Vigoda, spell it with G-O-A-T.
Alex, who is your MVP?
Yeah. Boom. Oh, good. I'm glad you got it.
You know what? My MVP is actually gonna. I went back and
you better not say motherfucking Schneider, man.
Don't say the Jesus Christ. Do not say the burger.
Not even for comedic purposes would I ever say Dan Schneider. No, I went back and forth between Kenan and Kel on this, but I have to give it to Dexter, Kenan Thompson on this, because he was just like an excellent straight man. Like all of his lines that like on the page would have been like pretty funny, he elevated. And there's like it just speaks to his comedic star power and why he's like, you know, now the longest running SNL cast member of all time. Like
and I mean he'd been doing it longer than all of them technically, because he'd been on the kids version of SNL.
Yes, that's right.
He'd had so much practice. But the line that gets me is when he's with Sinbad and Sinbad's like, I'm worried about you. He's like, I'm worried about you.
He's like, have you looked at yourself lately? Have you looked at yourself lately? Like, that was some funny ass shit.
That delivery of that line. Yeah.
The delivery of him saying, "This jacket," like it physically makes me react every time.
I loved. So my MVP is gonna be Sinbad. You know what I'm saying? Because the little that he is in this movie is just hilarious, and I am pretty sure the reason they had him in this movie is because he had such a good rapport with them on All That. Actually, the first time that I've ever heard anybody cuss on television as like in a kids show was on All That, on an episode that Sinbad is on with Kenan and Kel, and I can't remember which sketch it was, but you can find that on YouTube. But he was on there a few. He was on all that a few times with Keenan and Kel, and the only sketches he did was with those guys. So I think
the rant with his car, the rant when he goes on about his car, he's like, "Got the chrome wheels. I had to wait 4 weeks. That's real Detroit leather. That is real Detroit leather.
Detroit leather.
You had to order from Detroit.
From Detroit. Do you understand that? Like it's Detroit leather.
How do you feel about that? He's like, they always get you with them add-ons.
Yeah, he was really, really good. Yeah, like I just wish that he was in it more, but I guess you couldn't logically put him in more than he was, like story-wise.
Change the story a little bit,
but
I'm good with that.
Maybe make him the manager. Maybe he's the manager instead of Dan Schneider. Like that.
That would be funny.
That would so much better. Like, and the reason that Keenan ended up working there is because he still fucked up the dude's car. He's like gonna give him like the ability to make it back by just working for him, which is slavery.
Yeah, that would
have tricked him into being slaves.
Message.
I do want to do one more. This is my honorable mention.
Lori Beth Denberg.
Lori Beth, you know, baby girl, we're gonna give you some honorable mentions.
This was the fan service.
I'm hosting a family reunion and my oven has run amok. I think it's the heat actuator. Hello, my name is Connie Muldoon. I'm hosting a family reunion and my oven has run amok. I think it's the heat actuator. Anywho, I'd like to order 3 good meals, 4 junior good meals, a 17-piece order of your good chunks. Okay, on 2 of the junior good meals, I need to substitute the good cookies for good pies. Now, don't fret if that's extra. I'll pony up the overage. And, on the regular good meals, I need 2 of the good burgers to have ketchup, mayo, mustard, lettuce, tomato, but no onion. I've got an interview this afternoon. Let's see, that takes care of everyone but Uncle Leslie, who doesn't eat meat, but of course he does eat dairy, so I don't get it. Let's get Leslie a good chick with some good fries and a good fruit here, all to go. But I would like to have my beverage while I wait. Now, tune me up.
Look,
it's so great. It's so great having some of the all that cast in here. And if people like didn't watch all that, like it's such a good little bonus. Like her and Josh Silverman, who works in the kitchen, right? Like just little characters like that. Even the guy who like interviewed and asked Shaq the question, I think he was one of the other cast members as well. But it's such a little added bonus. And then you realize you're like, bro, that whole cast is pretty talented for being kids.
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
even to this day.
Yeah, even the actors, like Lori Beth Denberg, she didn't. I think the last thing I saw her in was Dodgeball in like one scene.
But I wonder how much those people. I don't know, but I just wonder how much they actually have to work. I know Lori Beth and what's his name, Pete and Pete.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They have a like podcast together. I can't remember.
Oh, that's cool.
I've never really tuned in enough or watched enough to like know if they ever talk about those kind of things, But yeah, like I feel like if you were that famous that early, like if you were in the good situation as far as family and everything, you should probably still have some money.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like just a little bit.
Yeah, like and it's crazy phenomenon that of all that, like with all that, of all those, all that talent that came out of all that.
He said the word.
And
he did.
And do you remember how the theme song went for all that? Didn't it go like,
"This is all that"?
Does it?
No, it didn't. That's not how it went.
That's not how it went at all.
That's not the song. He said, "Actually, why did you do that? That was bad. That was terrible."
I laughed. I laughed,
but I laughed for all the wrong reasons.
Fuck me, right?
No, because it kept throwing me off because you were touching me, and I was like,
"You touched me."
I know, but then you were touching me, and I was like,
"Can someone touch me?" Or is that?
I was like, "You don't have to touch me." So I thought he was really about to say something serious. So that's why I was like, "Oh shit, he picked the real."
That's why I started doing the. I was like, "Oh, this is."
I was actually trying to remember the damn song. I was like, "Shit, hold on." I was like, "Oh." I don't know it. I don't remember. But before we ask the testicular question, I do have to ask: Does
it? Oh.
What?
What say you?
Are you taking a shot?
Yeah, because he's trying to forget that all this just happened.
Well, Blake, we always let the guests go first, so let us know, sir. I guess it's not really. You're not really even a guest. This is just. This is just your job now, and this is what you do.
Again, I slide in like Cody on Step by Step, and all the ladies go, ooh.
Day by day. Blake,
we got the righteous gemstones here. We co-workers and family over here.
That's right.
This movie and movies, it holds up, like in the sense of like, it's a fun watch. Like you put it on, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, bro, I remember this," or "I haven't seen the whole thing," and if they haven't, like, hit him over the head with a mallet, and then give him a shot because you're a nice guy, and then put on Good Burger. But and then get them a Good Burger because they're a good friend at that point.
They are.
But yeah, this movie holds up, but like not because of anything is strong in it, but it's just like purely for like if you want to revisit some sort of like fond like kid memories and like just be a kid for like a night or have the movie on or like show it to like kids. Like this is a movie for everybody, and if you put it on, like nobody's gonna be like, turn that movie off, like that movie is whack. You know what I mean? Like everybody will remember it for a specific purpose and a specific reason. Is it the greatest movie? We all know it's not. We all know it's silly, it's goofy. We all know Ed's entirely too stupid. Like just entirely too stupid for no good reason. And then again, like, does he have a retirement plan? Is he gonna be a Good Burger all his life? I don't know all the answers. And also too, it doesn't hold up in the fact of by the end of the movie, really, nobody wins. Nobody's learned anything. Society's not any better for Good Burger still being open because the service there is absolute trash. Service is absolute trash.
Does Dexter not have to pay back Sinbad because his car got destroyed by a hammer?
No, he gave him half of the money.
Oh, he did.
He said I'm gonna get you the other half by the end of the summer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but, so that's a whole nother set of issues right there.
Yeah, right. I mean, he's officially is totaled down.
Right, it's official. But this movie holds up better than Sinbad's car did in this movie for sure. So give it a watch, give it a go. It's fun. I'm not. I have no like. If somebody's like, "What are your reasonings?" Kids. It's a kids movie. It's a fun kids movie. That's it. That's all I got. It holds up because of that. Not very strongly. It's sort of like a table with 3 legs. Like if you could finagle, you could try to make that work. Or the table is kind of wobbly. You put the sugar packets underneath it just to make it like kind of even. I'm trying to put some sugar packets underneath it. It's a very wobbly case, but I could make it work.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Alex, question for you is,
does it hold up?
I would say good. Yeah, right.
Somebody get him a Good Burger.
So yeah, somebody put James Brown's cape over him real quick. I do feel like this movie holds up, especially as a kids movie, especially seeing it through that like spectrum. It's a nice, like, fun, light comedy. Some of the comedy, like we mentioned before, is actually just like genuinely laugh out loud, hilarious. Keenan and Kel are so dynamic in their comedic like charisma. I feel like that elevates this very mid script to the point where like I would enjoy this more than like say the Super Mario Brothers movie, which is also like a kids movie, and people give that a lot of like leeway. It's like, oh, it's not Citizen Kane, but what do you expect? It's a kids movie. I'd at least expect Good Burger. I would at least expect to giggle a little bit, Give me a nice Good Burger.
I'm sorry, but God, Super Mario be catching strays over here. Like it's not the first time in Super Mario. I never saw it, so I can't say anything. I'm not gonna stand up for
we
it.
need to input that line from The Simpsons where he's like, "Leave him alone. He's already dead."
Stop it! Stop. Oh, wait. Speaking of which, there is a line that horrified me when rewatching this movie. When Kel lets the crazy guy go. I watched it with subtitles this time. When he lets the crazy guy go at the institute with the straitjacket, and he's off screen, he's causing a bunch of ruckus.
People, yeah.
You see in the caption it says, "Oh my God, he's killing Sydney." I was like, "Oh my God,
killing her."
That's terrible.
How do you know he just wasn't saying jokes that were making her laugh really hard?
But it is. Yeah, he's just telling her he's killing it up there. He's killing the Type 5s.
He's been working on that all month.
Oh my gosh.
Things like that is why I do think this movie totally holds up. It's good for kids and adults. Yeah. But I guess there's only one more question to ask before we wrap up. Does it? Uncle Baby Billiam. What do you say?
Hold on now. Hold on now. Something like this shouldn't be rushed now. This movie, for me, it holds up.
Oh man, I was right.
I mean, I hate this movie.
Uncle Baby's Burger Bonkers just got put on the right track.
Let me just tell y'all something. This movie sucks. This movie is fucking not good. But
Baby Billy's Burger Bonkers. Sorry,
you're welcome. You can keep put that on a shirt. Put that on a shirt.
Oh, that's going in the video description for sure.
Uncle Baby Billy's Burger Bonkers. So don't be disrespectful. But the criteria of this show is not that the movie is good or bad, but does it hold up? And yeah, this movie holds up for every reason that you guys already said, got all the cameos that you would expect in a movie like this, you know what I'm saying? It's got all of so that when I say the cameos, that means it's getting love at least, somebody's agreeing to be a part of this because they know that this is a phenomenon that everybody has latched onto for whatever reason, good or bad, So yeah, this movie holds up. Anything with Shaq in it pretty much holds up, except for Steel and Shazam and
Hubie's Halloween.
Hubie's Halloween. Oh, I guess so. Anything that has him in it doesn't hold up. But
right, this one for some reason did.
This is a good one.
Great.
Because he wasn't in it much. That was it.
Yeah, but there you go, guys. We got 3 out of 3. It's a unanimous decision.
It was almost not. I almost want to say it didn't hold up, but still, it will win. It still gets through, so what does it matter?
Yeah,
nothing matters.
Nothing matters. The great philosopher Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. But before we get out of here, Blake, could you tell the people where they can find you on the interwebs?
You can find me all over the interwebs. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. It's all Money Blakeweather. You could find my podcast, Unfiltered Bachelor, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, anywhere podcasts are. That's where the show is. Also on YouTube. Also, if you navigate to YouTube and you're watching this right here on YouTube, feel free to follow the podcasts or the rest of the other shows that we have. Nerds at Night and 9 Nerd Yards. So many videos, so much of a good time. Just lose yourself in the moment. You want it and never let it go. All the stuff that we do, never let it go.
Yeah, he is all over the YouTubes, guys. Like Nerds at Night, 9 Nerd Yards. His podcast is actually incredible. You guys should check that out for sure. And he's a frequent guest of the show. He's going to be on so many future episodes of Does It Hold Up? Please check that out. And if you don't remember all those things that we just said, you can find all of his links in the video description. Right. You can go fuck yourself in your memory.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
But guys, thank you for watching the show. New episodes drop every other Monday at 4:20 a.m. Check us out on all social media platforms at The Drunk Banthas. Please like and subscribe. It's not required, but if you don't, you will not be invited to the cookout. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Peace.